Hello, welcome. I am back with more football content. I've been away for a while. I've been mourning Chelsea's bad results. I think the last time I looked at a football game was Chelsea's 4-all draw against Man City before Christmas. But I'm back, and we have a very important matter to discuss today. It's a massive game tomorrow between two European giants. That is the term that I'm going with. Please don't correct me. Liverpool versus Chelsea, in which is Chelsea's only chance of silverware this season versus probably Liverpool's one of four chances of silverware this season. Bit of a difference there, but it's fine. We are going to stay optimistic. I'm going to keep my mind open, and I am hopefully going to predict the correct score as well. I wanted to do this preview so we could kind of cover some of my predictions, my lineup predictions, and maybe some tactics that we might see in tomorrow's game. But it's a massive final at Wembley, Liverpool versus Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final, and I think if you ask me right now, my answer would be Liverpool should win this. If they don't, I think they are the favourites. Although I have seen Jurgen Klopp saying that he would like to preface that his team is not the favourites for this final. I don't quite understand where that has come from, considering one of the teams are like second in the league, maybe even first. I haven't seen the league in a couple of days, and the others 10th. Bit of a difference there. A bit of a difference. However, I think it is worth noting that we are looking at some injuries in the Liverpool team, which maybe has caused him to say these comments. So let's start this preview by looking at the Liverpool side of things. Now, we know there's a few injuries for the Liverpool team. I know they're currently going through a bit of a bad spell at the moment. I'd like to point out Chelsea have also had their bad spell. We've just come back from it, I think, so we've kind of got a bit lucky with the timings. But Liverpool have lost Jota, Curtis Jones, Trent and Alisson. They are all pretty big players. When you look at the form that Curtis Jones have been on, Alisson obviously probably the best goalkeeper in the league, if not the world at the moment. Trent, on his day, can literally win you a game. And Jota, who, as much as it pains me to say, I rate very highly. Four major people to not have in your starting 11, and alongside that, I think there's going to be a late fitness test on Szoboszlai and Darwin Núñez. If they are both out, then I think Liverpool are actually looking at a severely weakened team. However, it is worth noting that the team that they can play is still significantly better than most teams. I'm not going to go into the Liverpool side as much because I haven't looked into it. Obviously, being a Chelsea fan, I'm being a bit biased today, and I apologise if that's not what you're after. Then click away. I am going to be putting a lot of emphasis on Chelsea's results today. But I think for Liverpool, we're probably going to see a Kelleher, Bradley. I'm not sure on Bradley. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start because of his age, the experience. But he has been incredible for them when he's played so far this season. So maybe he does get his chance. Thinking about it, actually, I think Joe Gomez will start right back. I think maybe with the experience and just more of that defensive-minded player. Maybe Klopp will prefer him. And then probably Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson. My guess would be McAllister, Endo, Gravenberch maybe, or Harvey Elliott, and then Salah, Gakpo, and Luis Diaz. I think that's probably like a typical Liverpool team that we're going to see tomorrow. I think that is their strongest side that they have that are fit. Conor Bradley obviously could come from the bench, and Gravenberch or Harvey Elliott can come from the bench. Maybe they've not got the best substitutions available, but regardless, they've got the experience. They know what it takes to win a final. Tactically, we know they're going to play that high line as they always do. We know Salah's going to keep cutting in from that from that right hand side. Seen some wonderful stuff that he's done against Chelsea before. Flashback to that awful screamer that he scored against us a few years ago. Regardless, Luis Diaz seems to be on good form. Gakpo, maybe not the best, but scored against Fulham in the semi-final. So, he's their best option up front, unless Darwin Núñez does start, but I don't think he would. Even if he's deemed fit, I don't think he'd start. And obviously you've got Van Dijk, who at the moment seems to have found some good form again alongside Konate. So I don't really think that Liverpool should be too worried about their lineup that they have. I think that them not being the favourites is bullshit, personally. You heard it here first. Okay, well, now into my favourite part of this video. Let's look at the Chelsea side of things. Now, granted, we have probably a bigger squad available to us to choose from. We've got a lot of players coming back from injury. I think maybe Thiago Silva's one that we're not quite sure on. And also Cucurella's just come back into training, I think. But he's definitely not ready yet. I think for Chelsea, we have found some good form recently. against Aston Villa and against Man City, regardless of who we start up front, I do see us creating chances, and whether we finish them or not is going to be, I think, what could determine our part of the game. I have some faith. I have some faith in the team. I think what our biggest downfall could be, and which we've seen consistently this season, is actually Pochettino's game plan. He goes into the game really well, but why we went to 5 at the back against Man City with 25 minutes to go, I have no idea. I think that was a poor decision from him. The players that we took off, I think, were the wrong players to take off as well. That could be something that lets us down. He has to get the in-game management right. We will see, though. As for my predicted lineup, I think in goal we go with Petrovic. Even if Sanchez is fit, I don't think Petrovic gets dropped. I think at least for the rest of this season, he has made himself number one. Sanchez was all right, but I mean, again, I have nightmares of that 2-2 draw against Arsenal where he just gave the ball to Declan Rice. I don't think Sanchez was necessarily incredible. I think for now, Petrovic is number one with his young age as well. I can't see him being dropped. Right back and left back, I think, are pretty obvious options. Obviously, right back, you could play Disasi. Left back, you could play Colwill, but I'd be surprised based on the Man City game recently as well. I think it has to be Gusto and Chilwell. Chilwell probably going to captain the side as well. Gusto has been incredible. We saw him overlapping consistently against Man City. We saw Palmer dropping a bit deeper, creating that space for the overlap, and Gusto fully took advantage of it. Maybe should have got an assist for Jackson, and he also got the assist against Aston Villa by doing a similar thing. So I think he has to start. I think even when Reece James comes back fit, Gusto is almost... I don't want to say he's definitely the number one right back because it's Reece James, but they're actually two very good right back choices. And as Gusto is fit, he has to start. As for Chilwell, has he been incredible? No, I don't think he's been brilliant, but I also don't see any other option. I don't think we play Colwill left back. So it has to be Chilwell. He's fit as well. I think is the obvious choice. And the centre-back partnership, I mean, I thought I was watching like a prime Maldini performance against Man City. Axel Disasi, I don't think has had the best season, but bloody hell, what a game he had. He almost kept... I mean, Haaland had his fair share of chances, but Disasi definitely prevented what could have been a couple guaranteed goals. So, I mean, he's almost bought his way into the team pretty easily. And I think Colwill alongside him was phenomenal. I think they were both absolutely brilliant as a centre-back partnership. Even if Silva's fit, I don't think I'd play him. The only excuse you could have is for the experience. But against a Man City, against the Liverpool team that are going to have pace with Salah and with Diaz, I don't see a way Silva gets back into this team. And I'm his biggest fan. I love Thiago Silva, but I think we're at a point now where I don't see him getting back into a Chelsea team. And then the midfield, I think it writes itself really, doesn't it? It's Enzo, Caicedo and Gallagher. Again, we saw Caicedo and Enzo working so well against Man City and against Aston Villa. I think we've seen the best of both of them. Sensational performance. They've kind of started actually working as a unit rather than two individuals. Gallagher, I mean, like him or not, the guy will run for you. And I think against a very energetic Liverpool team, you have to play Gallagher. He's going to press. He's probably going to lead the press, starting from the front and then dropping into midfield and still chasing whoever has the ball. Especially with it being a final, maybe there's some nerves. He can cause some mistakes in the Liverpool defence. We can only hope, but I think Gallagher, based on his recent performance, has to start. I think he has to start. My front three is Jackson off the left, Nkunku up front, and Palmer on the right. And I think that's the only correct front three for this game. I think Jackson, we've seen him at his best against Aston Villa. I think that was the best performance I've seen. I know he got a hat-trick against Spurs in the 4-1, but they were all tap-ins. So I think that the best we've seen him was at left wing. And Nkunku maybe not been at his best recently, but we saw against Liverpool in the 4-1 that, okay, it was only a consolation goal, but it was a really nicely taken goal. A quick feet, took the chance on his left foot, and he can link up the play very well. I know Palmer does a similar sort of thing, but I think with Nkunku you get a bit more of an all-rounder up front. And then Palmer, I mean, he's probably the first name on the team sheet, isn't he? You look at how he's been playing this season, almost signing of the season. Against Man City, we saw him playing a bit deeper, almost like a right mid role, cutting inside and then letting almost finding like the overlap for Gusto. It was a different sort of position I expected to see him in, but we've seen him playing as a number 9 recently as well, almost like a false 9. But I think for this game, him at right wing again is the best option. I think that suits the team best. However, whilst that's what I would play, I don't think it's what we will start with. I'm almost confident that Pochettino wants to play Sterling for this game, probably because of the game against Man City. obviously used to play for Liverpool. I think maybe there's that bit more of a spark in him. He's got the experience of cup finals. He's won the Carabao Cup a few times, I think, with Man City, or maybe just once, but with Man City. So I think maybe there's that part of me that just says that Pochettino has to start him. And if he does, I think it'll be Nkunku that drops out. I don't think it'll be Jackson that misses out. I think it'll be Sterling on the left and then Jackson up top. Do I like that? Maybe not as much, but I can understand the reasoning behind it. Nkunku as an impact sub could be a really good option, especially when you look at Liverpool's bench. It's probably not going to be as strong, but personally, I would start Nkunku. I know we've not seen him start for a fair while, but I think for me it's a must. And yeah, I think that's the lineup that we should go with. My brain is saying is that Liverpool will probably win this. I'm thinking maybe a 2-1. I know we've got a history of draws. I still have awful memories of the penalty shootouts I've seen for the last couple of times at Wembley against Liverpool. Kepa Arrizabalaga, I will never forgive you. I had a bet on that game. So thank you, but I'm glad you're not playing. I mean, the ultimate question is, can Petrovic take a penalty, pretty much? I don't think it'll come down to that anymore. We had a history of draws until the 4-1 recently. I think Liverpool, my head is saying Liverpool will win this 2-1. My heart, however, is saying 3-1 to Chelsea. Do I see it happening? No, but I'm hopeful. I remain hopeful. My fingers are crossed, and I'm going to hopefully walk away from this game very happy. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you think maybe I was right in my predictions. But regardless, I think I'll be doing a tactic review on Monday of the game. I'm going to at least take tomorrow to either sulk or enjoy the moment. And then Monday I'll come back and we'll look at the tactics. Look at how Chelsea lost, how Chelsea won. We will see. But I'll see you guys very soon with a brand new video. Thank you for watching.